Welcome to part 17 of the Sonic Adventure DX commentary, where we tackle down Big the Cat's story.
The only thing worse than Amy's.
I definitely have to agree with you right there. He is slow as molasses.
His stages aren't at all really particularly interesting either. Now, I like how they show that power-up right there.
Yes, right?
Big forgets that he has one of his most and only useful power-ups right under his bed.
Yep. And in terms of power-ups, Big the Cat has a lot of power-ups to collect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it may not seem that way, but his only two main power-ups are, the life belt, which we will get to in this part, and then of course the power lure, or the power pole, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, that business.
And then of course we have like 3 to 4 pieces of power lures upgrade that we have to get, which I do get throughout on this playthrough. So I do get all the items. Now, this is where the difficulty kicks in, because if you don't have all the power lure power-ups,
yeah,
you are not going to get those emblems. I'm sorry. You are not going to get those emblems, especially, Emblem A as Big the Cat.
And now you know why a frog had a Chaos Emerald.
Yep.
I guess he's taking after Chaos, since he's got... If you can't tell, he's got a tail now. Chaos has done something to him, basically.
Yeah. Asexually, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Science, bitch.
Mystical stuff. I don't know. I don't particularly...
Go on ahead.
I don't particularly hate Big, really. It's just... And I don't think most of the fan base really hates him. What I think has occurred is that his stages are just so awful, and he's kind of just really underdeveloped. And yeah.
I mean, this character is just one big demo reel of Sega Bass Pro Fishing.
I hate to say it, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
And we get our first lure power-up. You can find it in the sewers.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't even give him the decency to have the ball of light come in and tell him exactly what his thing does.
Yeah.
So, he's pretty ignored largely.
Yeah. On the side note, however, I do love Big the Cat's theme song.
Yeah, he does have a pretty unique theme song. That's true. I was remembering that earlier.
There's Froggy.
There's Froggy.
I imagine our cartoon logo slapper that says Big, that's like the Adventures of Big and Froggy, because this is nothing. This story is nothing about, all it is about a cat chasing a frog, and oh my god, he's strong.
Yeah, that's the thing about Big. He appears to be pretty darn strong.
And again, I find him more playable in Sonic Heroes than I do in Sonic Adventure.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Oh man, he's so big. It's so hard to get him through these
he's a bit hard to fit through things.
Yeah.
He's so much bigger compared to all the other characters.
But Twinkle Park is his first stage, and I got a question here. Why in God's name would there be fish in the swimming pool?
I don't know. And that was another thing. You had to deal with, enemies in some of Big stages, and it's just why would you want this?
You got me. But the controls are pretty basic, for Big the Cat anyway. If, you're a fishing entrepreneur, I guess. But some people don't know that unless you cast a reel, okay, and your objective throughout this playthrough is to catch Froggy. Now, if you happen to catch any attention of any fish, they don't count as, Froggy. So, what I do is, if I do get the fish's utter attention, I just quickly press the left and right bumpers or LR triggers, depending on which system you're playing on. And that just, catches in my reel.
I was always really terrible at catching fish in this, honestly.
Yeah. You can reel them in either fast or slow, and if they give you a struggle, you can tilt the control stick left or right to weaken them, so you can reel them in, pretty easier than that. So
I think it's kind of, in case anyone's completely confused and hasn't played this game somehow before watching it, I guess it's implied. There goes Cream. I guess it's implied that Big just magically loses Froggy every time he catches them. I honestly think they could have at least put in like one or two ridiculous cutscenes just to kind of give it a bit of explanation. But like I already said, like Gary's already said here, it's pretty. His story's just kind of ignored. Like it wasn't really given too much development. At least it appears that way.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Big the Cat as a character.
Oh yeah, he's perfectly fine.
Because, if we want to get technical about it, this character actually reminds me of my next door neighbor because he loves fishing a lot.
Well, I mean, I used to go fishing with my dad too, so it's not like I have anything against fishing or fishing games. It's just that, this is, I mean, it's an adventure game. It's called Sonic Adventure. If it were more of an RPG, yeah, I could see fishing. At least he gets a ball of light to, at least justify this now.
Yay, we got the life belt, which is a pretty useful item.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know this, but in the ice cap zone, there is a power-up lure that you have to collect.
Yep.
So, I do get that in this playthrough.
But
takes me a little bit. And may I just say, Big the Cat climbs ladders
Yeah, I was
fast.
about to say, if I recall, he climbs ladders the fastest, which is at least some redeeming factor.
Yes.
Excuse me. But, yeah, like, back when I was a kid, I hated this stuff. I hated his story. It was a pain to go through. I never did it more than once. Obviously, I never got, every single emblem. But I didn't really care at the same time because I was just so indifferent to Big's story that I was like, I don't care at all. And this
Gary.
mechanic right there, no, it's not you, it's a spring.
I know. I was about to say, Gary, ignore that springboard.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh well, we're close to getting our lure power up, and it is implied that you have to pick up the rocks and throw them at the weak spots. I always just jump on the weak spots.
Yeah.
And there we go, our second lure power up.
Just float back to the top.
Pretty much.
Oh dear. I thought this part, some of the environments he had were pretty interesting. I always liked this. That's spring. But I always like the ice cap environment version that he gets, as well as I think he goes to Emerald Coast, right?
Yeah, he goes to Emerald Coast.
And finding his lure power up right there obviously is, it's not the most obvious thing unless you catch that door down there, which is pretty easy to miss.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even realize that on my first playthrough. And oh, look, speed shoes that actually give Big speed. Sort of.
Sort of.
But, yep, with that said, let's go on ahead and catch our froggy.
Oh, is that the metal mouth fish right there that I saw?
Yeah, the metal mouth fish, yep.
Isn't that, the hardest one to catch? I can't remember.
Yeah. Especially if you get the lure power-ups, because they come in, 3,000 grams or 4,000 grams or something like that. I think that's the biggest that they get. Those, the bigger the fish are, the tougher that they're going to be caught. And if there's only one suggestion that I can give the viewers out there, is if you're planning on getting all the emblems and doing A ranks, please follow this playthrough, because I do get all the items for Big the Cat. It is pretty fuck.
Wait, whoa! Wait a second. Didn't it just say 500 grams, like you caught him and then
Yes.
failed?
Yes.
Wow.
But, yeah. Like I said, you know, it is pretty damn essential to get all the power-ups to, and he's dancing in water.
Yeah.
But,
And again, he's mysteriously lost the frog that he just had in his hands.
yeah.
I'm not
well.
going to be able to get rid of the fact that, like, he really should have just been given a little bit more thought. I feel bad for him, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think it may be because I'm older, this is a little more tolerable than I remember it being.
Well, see, when I was doing my first playthrough, I guess I found this gameplay mechanic tolerable because when I was younger, my dad actually owned a fishing game on the PC.
Yeah.
And I used to play the fishing game a lot on the PC. So when
Oh,
I first
big.
got introduced to this mechanic, I guess I didn't mind it too much.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh big.
Jeez.
Boink. You
Yeah.
know, that sound effect...
Sonic 3K.
is ripped directly from Sonic 3K.
Yep. Specifically the Sonic and Knuckles side of it. But,
Oh, now what am I gonna do? Well, we're gonna find some power-ups, Big.
yeah.
I should have added the Brazzers tag right there. But,
Yeah.
we'll get to that
would
later.
have been a good place to apply it. Excuse
Ah,
me.
well. But now we go into the forest to find the power-up lures.
Yeah. If anyone hasn't played this game, this is pretty much how the forest goes. It's a pain to find anything.
Yes,
Really easy
exactly.
to get turned around.
Especially the power-up lure. As you can see, I just take a look at my map a good couple of times to see where the fuck I'm going. And there we go, there's our power-up.
We still got one more in the forest here.
Yep, we're gonna go after that fishing pole right now,
Mhm.
as soon as I find the right direction.
It's a good thing you sped this up, because having big walk up hills is awful.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The clip looped. The clip looped. Son of a bitch! Why didn't I notice in my editing? Ah! No! Ah!
Don't worry about it.
Ah, well.
You can always clip this section.
Yeah, I guess I can. I mean, I did speed it up to 4.000, so I don't know how many... So it was kind of a pain in the ass to,
Oh, there we
But
go.
here we go.
There's the rod.
And we stop here to get the power up.
Hold on one
And
second.
huzzah!
Hold on one second.
Okay. Alrighty. But yeah, like I was saying before, you know, it is pretty damn essential to get Big's power up in this. To get all of Big's items in this game, unless you want to get grade A emblems and whatnot. But
Yeah. It's essential if I recall, especially towards the end.
yep.
And
And here we go.
that's it for part 1, I guess.
Yep. All we're gonna do now is just aboard that train and get ready to go to Emerald Coast.
Woohoo!
So in the next video, it will actually be Big's final part for the playthrough. I know, 2 videos long.
Yep, shortest of the bunch.
Yep. And of course, I stop here to speak with Sonic real quick. Well, get off your ass and do it, Sonic.
Alright, get to it. Come on.
Now, this is I don't know why it. I mean, I guess it's implying that Froggy is going to Emerald Coast, but
I guess it doesn't really give much of an indication, though.
yeah.
I had to.
But
Fishing in the hotel pool would have been interesting.
Yeah. But in the next part will actually be Big's final part, so we will see you in part 18.
Alright. Until then,